Well, this is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or prior to traffic. If there is any emergency or prior to traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu on Wednesdays, to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. If you have NetLogger, I will take your check-in via NetLogger and get you signed in right away. If you are on YouTube tonight, you can post over in the YouTube chat. If you have a call sign, great. If you don't, if you would at least you can post your call sign for sure. Let me know you're there. I'll get you logged in that way, or post a first name and a location. That will greatly help my logging for sure. I will also take them over the air momentarily as well. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and just let me know that you're out there listening to the net tonight. I'm going ahead and getting all right, let's see. I'll go ahead and acknowledge those that I already do have. I got Paul, WA7GVL, thanks for checking in tonight. Moy, N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Colin, KB9CRS, thanks for checking in tonight. John, W2JLS, thanks for checking in tonight. And Mike, KO5AOK, thanks for checking in tonight. And we got oh, that's a long call. Just a sec. Okay, Jeremiah. Jeremiah, yeah, we got you over there. Not a ham yet. Oh, I was wondering about that call. Yeah, over on the GMRS. There you go. You've checked in before, Jeremiah, so thanks for that. Over on YouTube, so I'll get you logged in as well. And let's see. Oh, that's it so far. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and open it up. Anyone wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Quebec 4, Alpha Victor Zulu. Kilo Quebec 4, Alpha Victor Zulu. Paris, Georgia. Alpha Kilo Lima. KI7. This Kilo Delta 8, Victor Juliet Delta. Kilo Delta 8, Victor Juliet Delta. Alan Ivan.
Okay, we had some doubles in there. I know I missed somebody. Let's see, we may have some new calls on the list as well. I always like to touch base with my new calls on the list. So, yep, that's a new one. So welcome to the new calls. Let me see how many. All right. Yep, a couple of new calls, so thanks for that. Possibly another one in there too. I missed the call within the doubles. William, K6WGM, I do believe that's a new call on the list, so welcome to the net. I'll get back with you in just a sec. Al in Michigan, if you could give me your call, you doubled, and that's all I got. If you could come back with your call sign, I'll get you on the list, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Kilo Delta 8, Victor Juliet Delta, and I see I'm on the net scraper, so if you did give me.
I did. Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah, you must have called in a second time, so right, appreciate that. All right, Greg, KQ4AVZ, thanks for checking in tonight. Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. And yeah, Al, we got you on the list. KD8VJD for William. I don't know if you go by Bill or Will or William, but for William and Al, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I like to touch base with my first-time check-ins, find out a little bit about your background interest in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades. I've been doing this net for 30 years now and astronomy since I was a kid. So, and learning something new every net. So there you go. But whether you're just starting out or you're somewhere in between, or you've got some you've got some telescopes, or you like astrophotography, something like that. I'll start with William, K6WGM. Welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Kansas, but I moved to Colorado after my father was beginning to turn ill. I took care of him, and I got into ham radio about a year and a half ago. I've got my general now. I have decided not to go for the next step. The test it jumped out at me.
All right, William. Yeah, we'll get there. No worries. I'm glad you're hopping into the Colorado Astronomy Net tonight, so welcome. Al, KD8, VJD, same question. What's your interest, background in astronomy? Please go ahead.
KDA, DJD here. Thanks for running the net. And yeah, right across you, I just put an All-Star, a clear node up here a little bit ago, and I've been looking at the nets that are available, and I happened to see you listed on the All-Star Nets page, and so I thought I'd give it a try. Yeah, astronomy-wise, yeah, I've been interested in astronomy since I was a kid, back in, well, I don't know, my grandfather bought me a small refractor back when I was in high school, and, well, actually, maybe even junior high school. Anyways, and this was back in Akron, Ohio, where I'm originally from. I've got a degree in geology from the University of Akron, and I'm 73. But I've always been interested in astronomy, and I have actually a couple of scopes. I got a neat LXD 55 on a go-to mount, and I've been using it. I have used it in the past for mostly lunar planetary imaging and observation. That's the right there. I also have a 10-inch need. It's a go-to scope also, and it's a Schmidt Cassegrain. I can't remember the model number of it now. Anyways, I like to observe and also to mess around with the imaging with all things of webcam and and registacks and all that stuff. I got into that. And anyways, that kind of took me into being interested in actually amateur radio astronomy. I got in a Radio Joe program, and I built the radio and put the antenna up, and it kind of got me into amateur radio. So here I am, KDA BJD, back in net controlling.
All right, Al, welcome to the net. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Please stick around. We'll run probably, an hour and 45 minutes or so. We got some interesting stuff tonight. I got the local astronomical news, got some bulletins for you tonight. We got a rocket report and a little tidbit of astronomical history as well. And then I like to go down the list afterwards, question answer type thing, especially what everybody is observing in the skies. If you've got any questions or observation reports that you'd like to share with the net. So I do appreciate everybody sharing with that from all different parts of the country, all different parts of the world for that matter. We don't have any DXers tonight, but we do get them dropping in every once in a while, so do appreciate that. Right now, I'll go ahead and acknowledge several over on YouTube tonight. We got Brent, K9 NMT, thanks for checking in tonight. We got Mike, KE2FTG, thanks for checking in tonight, and Doug, K0ATP, thanks for checking in tonight over on YouTube. So I do appreciate that. And occasionally I do post some images over there, but right now you're just seeing me in my background. So that's about it. Not too exciting, but I'm here, so we're here to listen in. So, and if you have anybody over on YouTube have any questions or anything they'd like to pass along to the net, just please post that over in the chat and I'll pass it along to the rest of the net. And let's see, one more round of check-ins, and then I'll get into the meat of the program for this evening. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Charlie 8, Lima, Yankee, Golf. Kilo, Charlie 8, Lima, Yankee, Golf. Reckon Nassau, Ohio. That's on Australia. I'll be in there. Thanks for the net.
Okay, I don't know who said in and out for thanks for the net, but I did not catch your call. If you could come back with your call sign phonetically twice, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Captain Phil, please recognize Kilo Charlie 3, uniform Kilo. That's Kilo Charlie 3, uniform Kilo. Over West Mifflin, PA. In and out, no traffic. Kilo Alpha 8, Lima Yankee Juliet, K88, LYJ, in Buckford, Ohio. Just here to listen and learn. Nothing to contribute. Kilo, Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8, LB. I'll be in and out, 73, God bless.
Okay, Rick, we got you, KC8LYG, we got you on the list. Let's see, there was Kilo Fox 0. I think I missed at the beginning. I kind of missed the calls in there. I think there had a Zulu and a Victor in there. I don't think I got it right. KF0 station that called earlier. If you could give me a correction on your call, I'll get you on the list. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Zulu Mike Victor. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Zulu Mike Victor.
Okay, let's see. Herb, we got you on the list. KC3UUK. That's a new call. I always like to touch base with my new callers on the list. So we got Bob, KA8LYJ. Thanks for checking in tonight. And I think that's I think I got the call sign Kilo Echo 8 Echo Lima Bravo. Is that correct?
Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo.
All right. I got KE8 Tango Lima Bravo. Okay. Randy, thanks for checking in. Herb, thanks for checking in. That's another new call. Please, I like to formally welcome you guys to the net. So I always like to find a little bit about your information background, your interest in astronomy there before you disappear. Herb, KC3UUK, appreciate you letting us know what's your interest background in astronomy. Please go ahead.
This is KC3 UK. I haven't really been into astronomy since I was a young lad. I'm pretty old now. But when I was younger, I used to get involved in it. I used to like science and chemistry when I was in school. So I did a lot of stuff with astronomy, also telescope and that. Nowadays, I just don't do that anymore. I'm up in my 70s now. But that being said, KC3, UK, back to the net.
No worries, Herb. Yeah, I can relate. I'm getting up there in years as well. So there you go. Not quite 70 yet. I hit that milestone next year. Randy, same question. KE8 TLB. Tell us a little bit about your interest, background in astronomy. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. This is Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8TLB. Yeah, I'm interested in the space station and the moon and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, pretty cool stuff. And watch quite a bit of the Weather Channel and stuff and see what's going on. But yeah, pretty interested in this stuff. Thank you. And Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8TLB, W73. God bless. Have a great day.
All right, thanks, Randy. Yeah, stick around. We got some of that information tonight for sure. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Definitely welcome our new check-ins there. Over there, I do appreciate it. Announcements. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of the newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list. Or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the web page and the newsletter. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out at Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 4:30 until 8 p.m. in the afternoon. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at iaas.org for more information. Also, you can check us out on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also, a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page. So if you have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and like us both. The IAAS also has their own call sign, K0AAS. So if you happen to hear them on the air, be sure to hop on there and say, hey. On Mondays and Wednesday nights, if you're interested in flight simulations, you may want to check out Jack KE0VH's YouTube channel at 6:30 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. Captain Jack Flight Sim, always interesting to fly along with him and the rest of the crew on those evenings. It'll be from 6:30 until whenever he decides to land. Some interesting flights for sure. So again, Captain Jack Flight Sim for more information. That's it for the announcements. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And again, I take check-ins via YouTube and NetLogger anytime during the course of the evening, but I will look for check-ins a little bit later on. I'll officially take them over the air when I call for them. So if you haven't had a chance to call in, please hold your call signs until I call them, or please your calling in until I call for more check-ins. I'm going to go ahead and get into the astronomical news for, what is today, the 25th. I'll start off as usual with the phases of the moon. We had a last quarter moon on the 5th. A new moon occurred on the 12th. Our first quarter moon was on the 19th, and we got a full moon coming up on the 28th. The moon was at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month, back on the 10th. It was 225,734 miles from Earth. The moon was at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month, back on the 22nd. It was 251,433 miles from Earth. All right, planetary highlights for August. A partial lunar eclipse is visible across the U.S. this month. That will be occurring in just a few days on the 28th, while a total solar eclipse occurs in Europe. That occurred back on the 12th, if you happen to have seen it. Go across Iceland, Greenland, and northern Spain. Northern Spain, they had plenty of coverage from that vantage point for that eclipse. Venus dominates after sunset, reaching 50% illumination. Most planetary activity is after midnight as Saturn and Neptune rise in Pisces. Pre-dawn hours reveal a fine conjunction between Jupiter and Mercury, and Mars crosses into Gemini, while Western Taurus hosts Uranus. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, August 2026, page 28, and that's without the ad-libs. On with the planets. Mercury was at greatest western elongation, about 19 degrees west of the sun, back on the 2nd. That was as high as it was going to get in the morning sky. Mercury will be at superior conjunction on the 27th. So in 2 days, it will be behind the sun. Mercury is now rising about 6:15 a.m. in the morning, so it is definitely lost in the early morning sky because the sun is rising about 6:20, so just a few minutes before. So we will not see Mercury until next month. After conjunction, Mercury returns to the evening sky, setting about 7:49 p.m. by month's end. Still too close to the sun to be spotted at all, basically, in the evening sky. Not until about mid-month, well into next month. All right, Mercury moves from the constellation of Gemini into Leo, shining at magnitude 0.3, and that was back on the 1st. So right now we won't be able to see Mercury for another couple of weeks. Quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes go up, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see is about 6th magnitude. So a magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer. And we'll definitely need binoculars or a telescope to spot. But get out with those telescopes and binoculars and look at these visible objects as well. You'll see a whole bunch of detail. Speaking of which, we got Venus. Was at greatest eastern elongation, about 46 degrees east of the sun back on the 15th. That means it was as high as it was going to get in the evening sky. Venus is setting about 9:15 p.m. this week. Look for Venus to the west about 30 minutes after sunset. Venus is in the constellation of Virgo, shining at magnitude minus 4.4. If you do put a telescope onto a Venus, you will see it a half of Venus. It will look exactly like the moon in quarter phase. So you'll actually see a quarter Venus, but half of it will be illuminated. So you never ever see Mercury nor Venus in full phase because they are too close to the sun. You will see them on either side, but never fully illuminated from our vantage point. We got Mars rising about 2 a.m. This week. Look for Mars to the southeast in the morning sky about 30 minutes before sunrise. Mars moves from the constellation of Taurus into Gemini, shining at magnitude 1.3. We got Jupiter rising about 4:30 a.m. this week. Jupiter is visible during the last 2 weeks of the month to the east in the morning sky before sunrise. Jupiter is in the constellation of Cancer, shining at magnitude minus 1.8. And we got Saturn rising about 9:30 p.m. this week. Look for Saturn towards the east in the late evening sky after sunset. Saturn is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 0.5. All right, and we got Uranus. Uranus is rising about 11:30 p.m. this week. Look for Uranus to the south in the morning before sunrise. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.7. And even though these objects are rising earlier and earlier, wait for several hours so that they can rise higher and higher above the horizon, so you'll see them much clearer. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net continuing. Oh, we got Uranus rising about 11:30. I already did that, didn't I? 11:30 this evening. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.7. We got Neptune rising about 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. this week. Look for Neptune towards the east in the late evening sky after sunset. So definitely one to wait until 11 o'clock midnight to see if you can spot that one when it's higher up. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.7. For our dwarf planets, we have Ceres. Ceres rising about 1:45 a.m. This week. Ceres can be spotted to the south in the early morning sky before sunrise. Ceres moves from the constellation of Taurus into Gemini, shining at magnitude 8.9. And then we got Pluto rising about 6:30 p.m. This week. Pluto can be spotted to the south around midnight. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at a magnitude 15.1. Actually, Pluto just passed conjunction, so it's actually about as bright as it's going to get. But as usual, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. So right now, Pluto would be a challenge for any telescope smaller than 12 inches. You might see a 12-inch or larger scope to see Pluto, and lots of patience, and definitely check it out before the moon rises. But right now the moon is going to hinder any chance that you're going to see some of these dimmer objects. Meteor showers. We're at the tail end of 2 meteor showers for the month. The Northern Delta Acrids meteor shower extends from July 16th through September 10th. Maximum occurred back on August 13th. We got the Perseids, the tail end. You might still have some stragglers from that. That's visible between July 23rd and August 22nd. Maximum occurred back on the 12th, 13th as well. Would love to hear any of you with any observation reports on either of those 2 meteor showers. We do have a comet. We got comet 10P Tempel, or Tempel 2 is shining around 7th magnitude in the passing through the constellations of Aquarius and Pisces Astrinus. Comet Tempel 2 rises in the late evening and is best viewed around midnight. Tempel 2 reached perihelion back on the 2nd, making it easy to observe with binoculars or a small telescope. Look for outbursts of that one after perihelion, so we may have missed some of that. We had a total solar eclipse back on the 12th, which covered Greenland, Iceland, and northern Spain. We have a partial lunar eclipse occurring over the U.S. and South America occurring on the evening of the 28th. So look for that coming up Friday evening. So look for that Friday night and see if you can get a partial eclipse of the moon on that evening. Would love to hear your observation reports next week for sure. And that's it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, had some check-ins over on YouTube there. So we got Steve. Thanks for checking in tonight, Steve. And Jack, KE0VH. Thanks for checking in tonight. And we got another Steve. KM6VAY checking in tonight over on YouTube. So thanks for that, guys. I appreciate it. Not seeing anyone else over on, let's see. Yeah, Mark, we got you on the list. KC8FQV, thanks for checking in tonight as well. I'm running a little bit behind schedule, so I'm going to get into the bulletins for this evening. I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on. If you do have NetLogger or YouTube, check in there or send me an email, ki0ar@ki0ar.com. Let me know that you're there and I'll check on that as well a little bit later on. And we got Ed, W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight. Stick around for his rocket report in just a few minutes. Right now, I'm going to get into ISS passes for tonight. I do recommend this website, www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. I do recommend this website because I just like the way they do it. I can click on a particular date for a pass over the Denver area and get a nice star chart that I can print out, take outside, make notes on, things like that, and it's a little easier for me to see what constellations it's passing through as well. So check that out for your local area. I do recommend that you sign up and sign up for that. Enter in your home coordinates, and it's got a lot more information than just ISS passes. It's got amateur radio satellite passes as well, and not just the visible passes for the ISS, but all passes as well right now. We're talking visible ISS passes, and you can see on YouTube that I've got one posted as well for a particular pass, and you can see the star chart there. Again, that website, www.heavens-above.com. I got a bulletin for this evening. This is from Jet Propulsion Laboratory, dated August 25th. We're talking antennas tonight. And I know all of you amateur radio operators out there have antennas of some kind, and those of you who may be interested in amateur radio will eventually have an antenna or whatever, for sure. I'd love to have one of these in my backyard, but I don't think so. A new next-gen dish adds muscle to NASA's Deep Space Network. Deep Space Station 23 at NASA's Goldstone facility in the California desert is the latest next-generation antenna to be added to the network's enhancement project. NASA's Deep Space Network facility in California is marking the addition of a brand new 34-meter wide or 144-foot wide radio frequency antenna to the agency's deep space communications and navigation system. The network uses giant dish antennas located at 3 global facilities to support more than 40 spacecraft exploring the solar system and interstellar space. The new Deep Space Station 23, or DSS-23, is located at the Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex near Barstow and is managed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California. Excuse me. NASA leadership and personnel, as well as dignitaries, gather that the complete DSS-23 antenna for ceremonial ribbon cutting is the latest to be added as part of the Deep Space Network's Aperture Enhancement Project, which began in 2009 to upgrade and expand the network by adding 6 new 34-meter multi-frequency beam waveguide antennas. These versatile dishes can enhance many missions operating over different radio frequencies. By expanding the Deep Space Network, we are strengthening the communications foundation NASA needs for the bold missions ahead, from exploring more of the moon than ever before to peering deeper into the solar system, said James Kenyon, Associate Administrator of the Research and Technology Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters in Washington. This new antenna will help us deliver on our national goals for space exploration and push beyond the limits of what once seemed impossible. After completing a testing campaign from May through July to demonstrate its capabilities, the new DSS-23 began operations on August 3rd, tracking NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory. Since then, it has been communicating with dozens of missions such as NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, Psyche, Juno, Voyager 1, and other robotic spacecraft in deep space. The addition of this next generation antenna brings us closer to a completely modernized network that embraces advanced technology to ensure NASA's leadership in deep space communications, said Dave Gallagher, director of JPL. After over 60 years of continuous operation supporting consequential missions, these upgrades prime the network for a new era of exploration. The teams that designed, planned, and built DSS-23 should be proud. Enhanced capabilities. Construction of DSS-23 began in February 2020 after the 133-ton metal reflector framework was placed and bolted atop the antenna's pedestal in December 2024. Engineers installed the panels to the framework that reflect radio frequency signals transmitted to and received from spacecraft. Then came the careful process of calibrating the antenna so it can work in concert with the rest of the network. It is the 5th antenna at Goldstone, joining 3 34-meter antennas and 1 70-meter or 230-foot antenna, and the 5th enhancement project antenna to join the network, which includes antennas at the DSN's Goldstone, Madrid, and Canberra, Australia complexes. Multi-frequency beam waveguide antennas direct signals down to a stable, climate-controlled underground room rather than housing heavy, sensitive electronic equipment on the moving antenna dish. In addition to offering versatility, this design allows easy access for maintenance and upgrades to the system. The biggest challenge wasn't actually constructing the antenna. It was transforming a complex collection of mechanical, electrical, software, radio frequency, and infrastructure systems into a single mission-ready asset, said Jermaine Aziz, manager of the Deep Space Network Aperture Enhancement Project at JPL. Every subsystem must be integrated, calibrated, and verified to operate with extraordinary precision and reliability before it can support NASA's deep space missions. The enhancement project will be complete when a 6th enhancement project antenna, Deep Space Station 33, comes online at Canberra facility in 2029, bringing the total number of 34-meter antennas across the network to 13. The 34-meter antennas can be arrayed or combined and operated together to provide an equivalent communications backup for each facility's single 70-meter antenna, which after more than 50 years of near continuous operation are getting increasingly costly to maintain and repair. Managed by Caltech for NASA, JPL manages the agency's deep space network with the oversight of NASA's SCAN, or Space Communications and Navigation Program, within NASA's Research and Technology Mission Directorate. More than 100 NASA and non-NASA missions rely on the Deep Space Network and Near Space Network. They include missions that support astronauts aboard the International Space Station and future Artemis missions monitoring Earth, exploring the moon, and exploring the solar system and beyond. For more information about the Deep Space Network, visit https://www.nasa.gov/communicating-with-missions/DSN. And that's it for the bulletins for this evening. This is KI0AR, Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Right now, I'm going to call on Ed, W6RDZ, for tonight's rocket report. W6RDZ, are you ready to give the rocket report for this evening? Go ahead.
Good evening, Berners. Good evening to the net. I did hear some of you breaking up there, but you were mostly readable. I'm wondering, am I reaching you reliably here on the net?
You are, Ed. No worries there. You're solid. You're probably coming in on analog, and I may be doing it on digital. I am definitely stressing Jack's system for sure. Go ahead, Ed, with the rocket report for this evening. This is KI0AR, Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
All right, Berners. Yep. No, I'm not coming in on analog. I'm on the net. Coming in digital on NetLink with you. All righty. I'm going to jump in with the rocket report here. This is Rocket Man Ed, W6RD thing. We're ready to rock and roll with Colorado Astronomy Net's rocket report for Thursday, August 25th. We're going to look back a week and forward a week. We had 8 launches last week. They kind of snuck one in on us or two. And that does happen. As we reported last week, Tuesday, August 18th at 17:35, China's land space successfully launched Flight 2, also known as the Hangzhou 3 mission of Land Space's new Q3 rocket. And they landed the booster at the landing site downrange in the Gobi Desert. Q3 is a Falcon 9-inspired reusable first-fitting booster medium-lift methane-fueled launch vehicle. The landing was not as perfect as China first led us to believe. Immediately after nailing the spectacular landing, a fire subsequently developed on the rocket on the pad. Either fire damaged one of the landing legs, and the rocket toppled over and was damaged. The damage may preclude reusing the booster. We have several links to the news article on that on the online version of the rocket report. I'm going to reset the repeater there. All right, W6RG said back with the rocket report. Bringing us to Thursday, August 20th at 7:04 Mountain Daylight Time. Rocket Lab launched an Electron Curie rocket that took the Lightning Rod Defense, or QPS-SAR-18 mission to low Earth orbit from the Zealand. This is another of Japan's IQSP small, high-performance, synthetic aperture radar Earth observation satellite. It was Rocket Lab's 89th success overall and the 14th of 2026. Fourth launch of the week goes for Sunday, August 23rd at 2040 Mountain Daylight Time. Roscosmos successfully launched the GLONASS K1N19L mission on a Soyuz 2.1B frigate M rocket from Site 43/3 at the Plesetsk Cosmodrome in Russia. GLONASS is the Russian version of GPS navigation satellite. This was the 19th and last launch of the GLONASS K satellite. The satellite joined their constellation in medium Earth orbit. I'll reset the repeater. P6RDZ back with a tonight's rocket report. All right, that was our 6th launch. You know what? I think I missed 4 and 5 somehow. Yeah, I skipped right over. Number 4, SpaceX launch group, Starlink group 1029 on Thursday, August 20th, but scrubbed the launch. Well, they were supposed to launch on the 29th, Thursday, but they scrubbed the launch at T-minus 28 seconds. SpaceX successfully launched Starlink group 1039 on the next day, Friday, August 21st, at 1914 Mountain Daylight Time. On Falcon 9 launch from Slick 40 Cape Canaveral. It was booster 1078's 30th trip to space and back home safely, reliably placing 29 payloads into low Earth orbit on this launch. Then on Saturday, August 22nd, at 1:25 Mountain Daylight Time, that's in the morning, SpaceX reliably launched Starlink Group 15-20 from a fog-obscured pad at Slick 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. That was SpaceX's 700th successful launch of all time. It was a worldwide 200 orbital launch attempt for 2026. All right, and that then brings us to the Russian launch, which we already talked about, and to launch 7. I'm going to reset the repeater. Botswana, South Africa, South America, excuse me, missed it by a continent. The Metrostat third generation MPG is a follow-up system of the European geostationary weather satellite. All right. I'm going to reset the repeater again. W6RDZ back. The Colorado Astronomy Rocket Report for the big launch of the week, Sunday, August 30th at 05:22 Mountain Daylight Time. Yeah, set your alarm. SpaceX will launch NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope. This groundbreaking space telescope will launch on the 3-core Falcon Heavy booster capable of launching 10 metric tons space telescope to Earth's Sun Lagrange Point 2. That's where it's joining up there with, big infrared telescope there. Not Hubble, but, drawing a blank. That's what I get for going off of the week. The center booster will be extended, and the two side boosters should return to LV2 or LV40 and land. This should be the 13th launch of the Falcon Heavy and the second Falcon Heavy launch of 2022. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, short to Roman Telescope, is NASA's newest infrared space telescope. Roman is based on an existing 2.5-meter primary telescope with a wide field of view. The mirror was donated by the National Reconnaissance Observatory from the old KH-11 spy satellite program, as was the same for Hubble. The wide field instrument is a 300.8 megapixel multi-band visible and near infrared camera, providing a resolution comparable to Hubble. Over a field of view 100 times larger than Hubble. Actually, I think that's 200 times larger. I've confused something there. It's 200 times larger than Hubble. The coronagraph is a high-contrast, small field of view spectrometer covering visible and near infrared wavelengths. Roman will be able to map a portion of the sky in a month that would take Hubble over a century to do. Learn more about the Roman Space Telescope at the link there. Go NASA, go SpaceX, go Roman. You can watch the launch on NASA TV, SpaceX's Twitter feed, or a lot of online YouTube streaming tubers. Resetting the repeater. This is W6RDZ back with Rocket Report. Last official launch next week that we can be certain of, or fairly certain of, Monday, August 31st. Look for Rocket Lab to launch the OWL Around the World mission on an Electron Curie rocket scheduled to depart the Mahia Peninsula of New Zealand at 0600 Mountain Daylight Time. The payload is another member of Japan's synthetic aperture radar Earth observation satellite. All right, let's get one of these news items in. Actually, we're going to reset the repeater. The news items are fairly long. This is W6RDZ back with the Rocket Report. China was scheduled to launch the Chang'e 7 lunar lander to explore the moon's south pole on Sunday evening. The mission was to land in the South Pole region of the moon, explore and look for water. This mission includes the launch of an orbiter, a lander, a mini-hopping pole, and a rover. CBS News, however, reports that China has postponed its Chang'e further elaborate on the reason behind the decision, preparations have been carried out at the Wenchang launch site for the Chang 7 mission over the past week, the seventh in the Chang Moon exploration program. It is aimed at making a breakthrough in key technologies. The official Xin Hao news agency previously reported. More at the link provided. Will bring us to the second one. I'm going to reset the repeater. W6 RDZ back with the rocket report. Second news item this week. Starship 40 recovery update. Starship 40 is still afloat after a month in the sea. It's now moored in the harbor in the lee of Christmas Island. She made it out of the high seas of the Indian Ocean. She's now waiting for a heavy lift submersible ship called Forte to load ship 40 and bring her home. Forte should arrive about today. And I'm figuring maybe it'll take a week to load her, probably less. The voyage home should start by August 30th, and it's estimated to be around 50 days to get back to Brownsville, Texas. Of course, that depends on the weather and the route they choose, which is not certain at this time or hasn't been communicated. W6RDZ, we're going to reset the repeater. W6RDC back with the rocket report. Third mission. This is kind of sad. Third news item. An update on the Swift booster mission. The bad news this week is that Catalyst Space and NASA threw in the towel on the Swift boost mission. The Swift Gamma Ray telescope will not be recovered. Rather, it'll burn up in the atmosphere later this year. It's very ambitious and plucky commercial mission to save NASA's Swift observatory is officially a bust. The Link spacecraft will rendezvous with the Swift, but will not dock. Link rescue craft successfully launched on July 3rd, and all went well for about 3 weeks. Then the spacecraft started spinning uncontrollably. Two reaction wheels were lost and thrusters malfunctioned. Catalyst Space is studying getting their Link rescue craft despun, stabilized, under control, and new software loaded. Link still only one of the three reaction wheels functioning. It still has an unresolved problem with the thruster. Apparently, there's not enough ion fuel left. Now, to boost the Swift telescope to a higher orbit, Link will still chase down and rendezvous with the Swift, but it will not dock and will not reboost the telescope. ARS Technica's Stephen Clark reports the Catalyst CEO Gong Lee said that Catalyst designed, developed, and launched an experimental spacecraft to go after an ambitious mission with an aggressive timeline. We took this high-risk, high-reward challenge and are proud of the milestones we reached along the way. We have already learned a tremendous amount, and now our job is to turn those lessons into something durable, building a repeatable playbook to inform future rendezvous and proximity operations and satellite servicing. All right. We're going to reset the repeater here. This is W6RDZ back with the rocket report. Now we're going to try to update you on Starship Flight 14. Oh my gosh, everything is up in the air. SpaceX made some big changes to the Starship Flight 14 this week. Ever since the success of Flight 13, we've been told Flight 14 would catch Ship 41. Last week, we were even told that 14 would treat us to a double catch. The booster 21 would be caught completed its cruise campaign, has all its Raptor engines installed, and has completed its static fire campaign. No NOTAMs or not marks have been issued yet. Those are notices to aircraft and notices to mariners of the launch. So, yeah, interesting. All right, that brings us to the last article of the week. I'm going to reset the review. All right, W6RGZ, Rocket Man Ed back with the last year's spacewalk. Last week, astronaut Emil Menon and ESA, European Space Agency, astronaut Sophia Adnoth went outside the ISS and climbed the tower, so to speak, to replace the space-ground antenna on the orbital complex. This is a pretty good-sized parabolic antenna. The antenna is a critical communication system NASA uses to transmit data and high-speed communication between Mission Control Center in Houston and the space station. Actually, inversely, this is the one that talks from the space station downlink to Mission Control Center. It was Sophie's first spacewalk and the first spacewalk for a French female astronaut. They had some trouble with some stubborn bolts, but managed to remove and stow the old antenna. The astronauts ran out of time to install the new antenna. So this morning, a week later, the pair were back at it on EVA 96. I have confirmed that that was successful. They did get the new antenna in place. All right, that's it for tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net rocket report. This is W6RGZ, Rocket Man Ed, wishing you a good night and nominal flight. Now, let's go back to Starman Burnett, KI0AR, CATCOM, Mission Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
Okay, thanks for that, Ed. Appreciate you doing the rocket report for tonight. Some updates from Dave AF0AS. I got you on the list there, Dave. I got a few other check-ins to acknowledge, but Dave says 2 more big SpaceX news items. Today's Starlink launch was the final Starlink Falcon mission to be launched from Cape Canaveral. All future Starlink missions will be from Vandenberg. SpaceX announced Starbase LA, South Louisiana, 10 to 12 launch pads, 250 square miles of launch site. Most of the land was owned by Exxon. Booster B-21 rolled to the pad today. Static fire expected tomorrow. Starbase LA looks like it will have 4 gigabits and a huge star factory. All right. Thanks for that, Dave. Let's see. We got Phil, KJ5RAC. Thanks for checking in tonight. John, KF0TDK. Thanks for checking in tonight. Nick, KD8SLG. Thanks for checking in tonight. And Dave, AF0AS. Thanks for checking in tonight. We're running kind of long. I may ask Ed, I may ask you and John to limit your items to 10 minutes or less. That way it'll kind of speed up. It was kind of a long one tonight. I know I do appreciate the information, but let's see if we can keep them to about 10 minutes or less. I do like to go down the list, and we've got a long list tonight. I'm going to call on John W2JLS for tonight's history lesson, and hopefully it's not too long as well. W2JLS, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. If you're ready to give us tonight's astronomy history lesson, please go ahead.
This is W2JLS John transmitting from Fairlawn, Ohio for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This week in astronomy and space history. Tonight's segment is titled When the Whole World Looked Up Together, Krakatoa and the New Age of Global Observation. Yeah, that was a long one, Rocket Man. Long one. I'll try to hustle this, Burness. I'll try to hustle. Very good evening to you, KI0AR, Rocket Man Ed, W6 already said, and everyone listening on the Colorado Astronomy Net. We'll make this the 7th inning stretch so we can get on to all those people on the list. It's great to see you here tonight. To all of you, a special hello to and good evening to those joining on the Whiskey Kilo Yankee Repeater in Doylestown, Ohio, connected tonight through Sky Hub Link Network on Burness's net, now 30 years strong. Tonight's excursion into the past begins on the streets of New York, Poughkeepsie, and New Haven. We'll say it's late 1883 and fire bells are sounding. Engines are racing towards the western horizon, but there is no burning factory, no forest fire, and no city in flames. The fire is in the sky, and its source lies half a world away. 2 days from tonight, on August 27th, we mark 143 years since the catastrophic eruption of Krakatoa. Krakatoa is the way it's pronounced. Generations of English speakers call it Krakatoa. The eruption destroyed much of an island, sent pressure waves around the planet, killed more than 36,000 people. Yet it also produced one of the most remarkable events in recorded history. Krakatoa stood the Sunda Strait between the Indonesian islands of Java and Sumatra and what was then the Dutch East India. The volcano had been restless since May. Ships saw clouds of ash and steam periodically. Scientific parties came to investigate. Sightseers even approached the island to enjoy the spectacle. Then on August 26th and 27th, the spectacle became a catastrophe. A series of enormous explosions tore through. Much of Krakatoa collapsed into the sea, leaving a vast caldera. The collapse displaced tremendous volumes of water and generated tsunamis as high as 135 feet along parts of the coast. Entire communities were swept away. Most of the deaths were caused not by the eruption itself, but by the waves that followed. So then around 10 in the morning on the 27th came the most violent explosion of all. People describe this as the loudest sound in modern recorded history. Nearly 3,000 miles away, people mistook it for distant naval gunfire. Beyond that, the human ear lost it. The atmosphere carried it onward. People in the continental United, for example, couldn't hear it, but sensitive barometers across North America recorded its passing. The pressure pulse traveled around the Earth in both directions, roughly 33 hours after the explosion that returned to Indonesia. It came around, circling again and again for 5 days, instruments recording its slowly fading heartbeat. This is where the familiar story of Krakatoa usually ends. For astronomers, however, this is where it begins. Krakatoa did not merely shake the ground, it made the atmosphere visible. This is really kind of interesting. The eruption hurled ash and gas above the weather into the stratosphere. Coarser ash fell out comparatively quickly, but the sulfur dioxide remained high in the stratosphere, reacting to form droplets of sulfuric acid, too small to see individually, obviously, but together those invisible droplets repainted the sky. Within weeks, observers began recording strange colors in the heavens, reporting sunsets of burned crimson, copper, violet, magenta. The The second glow sometimes appeared after the sun had already dropped below the horizon. The sun occasionally looked blue or green. Around the sun, observers saw a broad, ghostly halo that became known as the Bishop's Ring, after the Reverend Cyrano Bishop, who described it from Honolulu. At sunset, the sunlight took a long, slanting path through the atmosphere. Krakatoa's high-altitude aerosol scattered that redirected light, allowing it to remain illuminating even after the sun had set. Under unusual particle conditions, more red light was scattered out of the direct beam, leaving the sun and moon with a blue-green appearance. Just at the beginning of this story had been chasing sunlight transformed by the chemical afterlife of a volcano half a world away. People did not yet have weather satellites, global aerosol maps, or color photography. Instead, the world became an observing network. In 1883, the world was not yet wireless. We didn't have radio like we have now. But we did have a rapidly expanding telegraph system. It had become kind of a 19th century planetary net. Quickly, reports of strange skies crossed oceans faster than volcanic haze itself. On the telegraph system, observers separated by thousands of miles were able to recognize that they weren't witnessing an isolated weather event. They were seeing something of a different proportion on a global scale. In England, the poet Gerard Manley Hopkins carefully recorded afterglows in his journal for Nature, wrote that the colors looked more like inflamed flesh than the lucid reds of ordinary sunsets. His language was perhaps poetic, but his observations were precise. We know this because, while there weren't photographs yet, you didn't have color photography so much. It was experimental in those days. But an artist, William Ashcroft, made hundreds of pastel sketches trying to capture the marvelous colors that change from minute to minute. Some of those pictures, you can get them up online, were recorded in the Royal Society's massive scientific report on this event. Obviously, it was a pretty big deal. Everywhere, ships, captains, lighthouse keepers, missionaries, astronomers, meteorologists, and citizens wrote down what they saw, and when they saw it. Taken together, the reports allowed scientists to follow the volcanic haze across continents and oceans. So Krakatoa was a question too large for one science to answer. Understanding it required geology to explain the shattered island, oceanography to understand the tsunamis, physics to follow the pressure waves, meteorology to trace the upper atmosphere and winds, chemistry to identify the volcanic aerosols, but astronomy to explain the transformed sunlight and what happened in the sky. So, Krakatoa became more than a volcanic disaster. It became one of the first major natural events to be investigated collaboratively on a truly global scale. We often imagine that astronomy begins when Earth's atmosphere gets out of the way, but for most of human history, the atmosphere has been part of every observation of the heavens. In 1883, the sky became a screen on which the Earth projected its own catastrophe. Krakatoa roared with a sound heard across thousands of miles. Then for months it spoke more quietly through crimson twilight, blue suns, strange halos, artists, elves, and scientists' notebooks. An island nearly disappeared, yet half a world away, people looked up and saw proof. No place on Earth is truly isolated. 2 days from tonight marks 143 years since Krakatoa exploded. The blast lasted moments. The sky remembered it for years. This is W2JLS John in Fairlawn, Ohio. Back to Burness, KI0AR at Mission Control. Burness, thanks for humoring my history segments again tonight.
All right, John, and John, do appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, I'm setting up an email, and I'll be sending that to you guys in a bit. But do appreciate you doing that. And let's see. Oh, acknowledging, we got a few acknowledges. Let's see, D. Michael, AF0SF, thanks for checking in tonight. David, WE8M, thanks for checking in tonight. And Ken, NV7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. Got you guys on the list. Don't see anybody else over on YouTube for tonight. But anyone that's still listening over on YouTube, if you've got any questions or comments or observation reports, please post them in the chat and I'll pass them along to the rest of the crew. A quick pause for any more check-ins before we go down the list. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Net control. Check-in November 3, Mike Delta Charlie. My name is Michael. I'll do an echo link. Located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This is my first time listening to you guys.
Okay, welcome Michael N3MDC. Thanks for checking in tonight. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. The call sign Kilowatt India Zero Alpha Romeo. I do appreciate you checking into the Colorado Astronomy Net. We start at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 p.m. Your time there in North Carolina, but I'm glad you stayed up with us and have been listening in. So do appreciate that. Quick base touch with you there, Michael. Your interest, background in astronomy, whether you're just starting out, you've been doing it for decades like I have. N3MDC, welcome to the net. Well, tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'd like to let you know I used to live in Colorado. I lived in the town of Longmont for 17. I lived in Colorado for 17 long years. I lived in a town between Longmont and Boulder for a long time, and I moved back here to North Carolina because my sister here in Winston-Salem became a mom back in December 2013, and my niece Carissa is now going to be 13 coming in December. That's why I live here back in North Carolina now, but I do miss Colorado a lot. And me and my mom are planning to come back to Colorado maybe sometime in the spring of 2027. And I would like to see Colorado before I can't travel anymore. So, because I used to check a lot of nets when I lived in Colorado, and I'm glad to know there's a net to check into. But I used to learn about astronomy a lot when I was still in school, and still like to learn a lot more about it. But because there's a net on here I can learn about checking to Colorado. So good to know that. And I think the control this is N3MDC.
All right, Michael, welcome to the net. Yeah, check out skyhublink.com, skyhublink.com. We cover, you can check in quite a few ways, especially if you're missing Colorado. We cover quite a few states and mostly Colorado, but definitely check out skyhublink.com for that's what we're operating through tonight and going worldwide for sure. So thanks for checking in. Hopefully you can stick around. Right now is the question and answer and observation report. Got a long list tonight, so hopefully we can get through it. I'm going to kind of rapid fire tonight, so please pay attention to as I go down the list. And those of you who are on YouTube, please post over there and I'll try to keep an eye out for that as well. Okay, we got another check-in over there. Let me get that one copied over. They're over on YouTube. So we got Greg, KC8GW. Thanks for checking in tonight there, Greg. We got you on the bottom of the list there. But yeah, if you've got anything for us tonight, yeah, please post that over there. First on the light, questions, comments, observation reports. Now's the time to do it. So first on the list tonight is Paul, WA7GVL in Utah. Good evening to you, Paul. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening to you, Burnett, and good evening to the net. Don't have a lot. I've got a lot of stuff going on here at the house, and I'm going to be in Washington D.C. this weekend, and England in 3 weeks after that. So I've got a lot of moving parts I'm dealing with. So astronomy is right now on the back burner, but I do enjoy the net, especially the rocket report. So hope everyone has a good evening. WA7GDL.
All right, Paul, no worries. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Moy down in Texas checked in and out. N5ZIQ, thanks for that. We got Colin in Indiana. KB9CRS. Good evening to you, Colin. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, we'll save John for last since he requested that over there. John, appreciate your your history report. Appreciate you checking in. W2JLS. Next on the list, Michael in Oklahoma on YouTube, KO5AOK. Thanks for checking in tonight. We got Jeremiah over on YouTube, so thanks for checking in over there as well. So we go down to William in Colorado and Fowler there. K6WGM. Good evening to you, William. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Greg in Georgia, KQ4AVZ. Good evening to you, Greg. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, I do appreciate everybody sticking around for tonight's net. Next on the list, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Roy in Oregon, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
All right, good evening, brothers, everybody on the net. And, hey, it's up and down here, rather slow in the air, but, hey, got a little bit of imaging done this past month, and I am very thankful for that. And, this coming month, I'm hoping to get some clear skies so that I can finish the mosaic of the Andromeda Galaxy that I started last fall. So, I'd kind of forgotten about it, but, process what I have so far is like, oh yeah, get more data, just finally got it cool. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a good night, clear skies, and send it back to that. KS up PKL.
All right, Roy. Looking forward to looking at your pictures, and I'll be doing the newsletter sometime between now and next Tuesday. So I'll post another new picture from you over there. So I do appreciate you letting me do that. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, Roy. Next on the list is Al in Michigan. KD8, VJD, good evening to you, Al. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
KD8, VJD here. Well, not really much more to say, I guess. I was doing a bit of alpha. I have a PST, solar scoping. So I was imaging with that in the past, and my son's been quite active, but I'm out there in years 2, and I can't, my legs and my knees aren't that great, and I got artificial ones, and so I can't scan at the scope like I used to, and well, anyways, all I can do is look at the images I took in the past, and of course it was doing a solar minimum, but I got some sunspots. You can see the magnetic flux lines and all, and I'm in, we're with, using the H alpha, and it's pretty neat. So that's kind of fun to do, but that's kind of like what got me into amateur radio astronomy. I've been kind of messing around with that with Radio Jove and this mission. So anyway, we'll turn it back over to net control. KABJD.
All right, Al. Thanks for that. You may want to check out on QRZ K6SKI, Kilo 6 Sierra Kilo India, K6SKI. He's one of our local astrophotographers, does a lot with solar work. So you may want to check out some of his pictures. Quite fascinating as well. He's got some of them posted on his QRZ page. So check that out. And again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I got several people on YouTube. We got Brent in Indiana, K9NMT. Thanks for checking in. We got Mike in New York. KE2FTG, thanks for checking in tonight. And we got Doug, K0ATP, and Parker there on YouTube. So thanks for checking in via YouTube tonight, guys. Appreciate that. Any questions, comments, observation reports, please pass those over there. Go ahead and acknowledge a couple other check-ins. Greg, KC8GW. Thanks for checking in. Marty, W9EAA, and James, KO6QT. Thanks for checking in tonight. That was over on YouTube, so thanks for that. We got John. Where was I? Marcus in Parker, KF0ZMV. Good evening to you, Marcus. What have you got for the night tonight? Go ahead.
No traffic. Just listening in, enjoying the show. Thank you very much.
All right, Marcus, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Colin, if you want to try again, let's see, hopefully my audio came through. I don't know if I heard you or not. I've been having issues in the past couple days. If you want to try KB9CRS, go ahead, Colin. We'll go back to you in Indiana. And we'll try at least for a radio check. Go ahead. Okay, we'll continue on. Let's see, where were we? We got Marcus. We got Rick. KC8LYG, good evening to you, Rick, up in Ohio. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening. This is KC8LYG. We're doing not much. Sitting out back, enjoying the evening. Looking up at partly cloudy skies. It is kind of clear through the clouds, but not much looking. But otherwise, myself, I'm enjoying listening to that. I love learning, so that I want my brain to absorb. And I love listening to reports. With that, I'll get us back to net control. I'll want to add KC8LYG 76 on.
All right, Rick, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list, Herb in Pennsylvania, KC3UUK. Good evening to you, Herb. Again, welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, that was a new call, so do appreciate Herb checking in from PA. Next on the list is Robert in Ohio, KA8LYJ. Good evening to you, Robert. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Sorry for the delay. This is KC8LYJ. Good evening to Bird. How are you?
Doing well, Bob. Go ahead. What have you got for us tonight?
Oh, I don't have anything. I'm just here to listen and learn. Love the rocket report. Love the JLS's history of space exploration portion. It's a good to just sit and listen to and learn. This is KA8LYJ.
All right, Bob. Yep, that's what we're here for. We're learning. We're all in a learning mode. Definitely a learning net. So I do appreciate you checking in and listening in tonight, Bob. So thanks for your comments. Thank you. Thanks for checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Randy in Ohio, KE8TLB. Good evening to you, Randy. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the list is Mark in Ohio, KC8FQV. Good evening to you, Mark. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, we got the beef, we got the red button, I got 61. It was a good guy. I just like listening and seeing what's happening. There's some folks I've not heard in a while, so Roy's always there. So we'll sit back away, KC8TV.
All right, Mark, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And I do appreciate that Ohio connection. We've got a whole bunch from Ohio tonight, so I do appreciate that for sure. Let's see, we got Steve over in Texas over on YouTube, so thanks for that, Steve. We got Jack over on YouTube, KE0VH. What did he say earlier? That he had a long day and he's probably tired. He's probably asleep by now. But I always appreciate. Check out Jack's flight sims on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Neat flights thereabouts. So check that out on Captain Jack Flight Sim on YouTube tomorrow night for sure. Next is Steve over in, it says Fort Collins, but I think you're down in the Springs. Anyways, there, Steve. KM6VAY. You're usually on the air. Good evening to you, Steve. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay. All right, Steve. Thanks for checking in over on YouTube. Do appreciate that. Next on the list is Ed in Broomfield. W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. W6RDZ. W6RDZ. This is KI0AR. I don't know if that was you trying to check in. We didn't get any audio. Go ahead, Ed.
Yes, that was me. Wobbling my phone here. Yeah. I mean, echoing. Yeah. Nothing observationally. I've seen Venus up there bright. And I was enjoying the last moon here that we had. But that's it observationally. Certainly enjoyed your article tonight on saluting the unsung heroes of the Deep Sky Network. That's just vital to manned space exploration and for all the deep space missions as the various planets are out in the distant Voyager. So that was great. Really, really liked that. And loved the article or the history lesson on Krakatoa. Fascinating stuff. That's all I've got for you. Thanks for the net. W6RDZ. Back to you.
All right, Ed. Appreciate you doing the rocket report. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, 34-meter dish in the backyard. That would be great. Or a 70-meter dish in the backyard. Even better. I only wish I had a backyard that big. That would be neat. All right, Ed. Appreciate that. Next on the list is Phil in Texas, KJ5RAC. Good evening to you, Phil. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, we got John up in Fort Collins over on YouTube, KF0TDK. Good evening to you, John. Thanks for checking in tonight. If you got any questions, comments, post them over there. Let's see. There you go. All right, so thanks for being over there on YouTube. Do appreciate the YouTube check-ins tonight. Quite a few listening in, and be sure to hit that thumbs up button and give me a like there. Do appreciate that for all those that are over on YouTube. So thanks for that. Next on the list is Nick in Ohio, KD8SLG. Good evening to you, Nick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Dave up in Evergreen, AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. AF0AS. I heard a break in. I didn't know whether you checked in or not, or made a comment or not. Go ahead. All right, Dave. Didn't get any audio there. I'll make a call for anybody else with any comments or anything like that. Next on the list is D. Michael and Morrison, AF0SF. Good evening to you, D. Michael. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, Bernice, I'm going to pull a fast one and call back to AF0AS. I heard his voice underneath you as you let go of the PTT. So I'm going to pause. Please come back to me. I have something to share, but AF0AS, go ahead.
I have too much. Just going to say one shot what was speaker today in Louisiana, but you can find it on probably on X. Please look for the state of Louisiana or SpaceX, and yeah, they're buying up a whole chunk of Louisiana shoreline to build 10 to 12 launch pads. It's bigger than any launch site in the world, as far as I know. AF0AS clear.
All right, Dave. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, 250 square miles. Quite a site for sure. So that'll be impressive to see that. So thanks for sharing that, and I passed that along earlier. You bet, Dave. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list, D. Michael, AF0SF. Go ahead, please. What have you got for the net tonight?
KI0AR, Alpha Foxtrot 00 Foxtrot. You know, I don't know if it was mentioned earlier, but I'm looking forward to the eclipse Thursday night, 10 p.m. Denver time. I think it's called a blood moon. But yeah, that's one of those events that if you can get them, put some blood oranges out and say a prayerful thank you for the universe. It's sort of my vibe there, but. Yeah, there's a whole lot going on in the world and in radio. My immediate Elmer group got the Yagi antenna with a mesh core repeater on Mount Baldy in Summit County, and we're being heard at 915 megahertz, 1 watt, over the Continental Divide, Bernice. So that's all I have to share tonight. Thanks, everybody. AF0SF.
You bet. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, very cool. Let's see. What time was that? 4:46 a.m. UTC on the 25th, which actually makes it the 24th for those of us here in Colorado at 10:46 p.m. Thursday night. Or thereabouts, and then into the early morning. Those eclipses usually last 4 to 6 hours, so plenty of time to see that. Yeah, stay up late Thursday night and well into Friday morning there for the eclipse coming up. So if you wait to Friday night, you'll be too late. But yeah, definitely check that out. I posted another link over on YouTube. Let's see. Appreciate your comments, D. Michael. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list, David in Ohio, WE8M. I think he checked in and out, just listening there. Ken, NV7SS in Nevada. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, I heard something really, really faint in there, Ken. I don't know if that was you or not, but S minus 17. There you go. Very. I know something was in there, but try again. NV7SS. Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Michael in North Carolina, N3MDC. Good evening to you, Michael. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Greg in Ohio, KC8GW. Good evening to you, Greg. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hello, Brandon. KCHW here, Wadsworth, Ohio. Really don't have anything to just want to tell you. Thank you very much for all you do, and I really enjoy listening to everything. Appreciate that. Kilo Charlie 8 Golf Whiskey back to that.
All right, Greg, thanks for that. Do appreciate it. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Marty in Iowa, W9EAA. Good evening to you, Marty. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Nothing for the net purpose, just enjoying it. Well, everyone have a nice evening. W9 Echo Alpha Alpha in Davenport, Iowa.
All right, Marty, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And we got James in Hawaii, KO6QT over on YouTube. So thanks for checking in over there. James, appreciate it. Got any questions or comments from the Big Island over there? Do appreciate you checking in, and it's what was it, 4:35 p.m. in the afternoon. There you go. Do appreciate it. So We are at the bottom of the list and at the top of the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the net for anybody else. Questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
November 6th, Davis, pedestrian portable. Question. Here is Kilo India 6 Whiskey Papa Kilo, KI6WPK. Just listening. Thanks for the net. Kilo, 4 Lima Kilo, Quebec, KG4LKQ, and intended so flow.
W2, Jet, still hanging out there. Be at the bottom of the list.
John, yeah, I forgot all about you. Let's see. David, we got you on the list. N6QDY, thanks for checking in tonight. William, or Bill, KI6WPK, thanks for checking in tonight. Ed, KG4LKQ, thanks for checking in tonight. David, N6QDY, go ahead with your comments, questions.
Yes, N6QDY. Sorry if I'm kind of not making a repeater really good out here on my QD1. Question I have is, what is that YouTube channel? What is the address of that channel? For I'm sure you mentioned it, but I might. Thanks for having me in there, November 6th. Have a good evening.
All right, David, no problems. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Bill, let's see. Oh, yeah, Ken, we got you on the list. KB9 JLC over on YouTube, so thanks for that. So, Southern Indiana, how am I hearing you on the 145190? Probably through the SkyHub link system, or I know we're connected into Ohio. You may be going through there. So check out skyhublink.com for that. We're hooked all over. Bill in California, KI6WPK. Good evening to you, sir. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
I don't have anything for the net. I just always enjoy listening. Maybe another time I'll have something, but for now I'm just enjoying listening in your reports. KI6WPK.
All right, Bill, appreciate you out there being out there listening. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see, Ed in Florida. I think that I got the call sign KG4LKQ. Is that correct, Ed? That looks like it's a new call on the list. So welcome to the tail end of the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Your interest, background in astronomy, anything else you'd like to pass along? Go ahead, please.
Alrighty, thank you for getting me on there. This is Ed, KG for LKQ in Centerville, Florida on Echolink. So I don't have any interest in astronomy. I just look up at the moon and know it's, I couldn't identify anything else. But my son has the app on the phone, so he's like, Dad, that's Venus, that's whatever. So it's somewhat some interest there. I'm glad to say that I'm the lone representative of Florida tonight. I was looking up on the Net Blogger and the Breakthrough site and seen that Florida was looking pretty bad. So I figured I'd jump on there and put a flag on Florida. And I'd be proud to be a lone representative of Florida. So yeah, I was last late check-in, but I got on late, and then it's rule number one is to listen first. So I listened for most of the night, and then decided to check in. Anyway, I'll be here next week. That'll be for sure. I'm very interested in that. Have a good evening. 73 KG4LKQ.
All right, Ed, thanks for checking in from Florida, and welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. We start at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, so it'd be 9 p.m. your time on Tuesdays, so appreciate that. And we obviously run for a lot longer than 2 hours sometimes, especially when we have got 38 check-ins so far tonight. So, but I'm getting ready to wrap this up anyway. But I do appreciate you checking in. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I've been doing the net for 30 plus years. So I do appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, we are global. I got like 30 countries that have contacted the net. I've worked all states through the SkyHub Link system as well. The only one I'm missing is DC. So anybody from Washington DC, that'll round me out for all of the U.S. entities. And that does include Hawaii and Alaska. We got Hawaii over there tonight, checked in over on YouTube. So Ed, you can check out YouTube channel on the same name, the Colorado Astronomy Net, for past recordings as well. So thanks for that. Ken over in Indiana, KB9JLC over on YouTube. That's a new call on the list. So welcome to the net, Ken. If you've got any questions, comments, or like to share with us your experience, background in astronomy, whether you're starting out, you've been doing it for decades, what have you, you can post that over there on YouTube, and I'll pass that along to the rest of the net there. I appreciate it. And we got Wesley just checked in over on NetLogger. So Wesley, we got you on the list. KF4 WLQ in Kentucky. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. And Ken, appreciate that. Great net. I posted it to my friends. Well, thanks for that. I'm just getting ready to wrap up, though. All right. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Anybody else? I'll make one more call. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
KI5AR. This is Whiskey 2 Hotel Alpha Zulu. Whiskey 2 Hotel Alpha Zulu. W2HAZ, Eric in Albany, New York.
Hey, good evening to you, Eric in New York, W2HAZ. This is Kilo India Zero Alpha Romeo. Eric, what have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Saw on YouTube about they observing a star exploding in another galaxy just recently, and it was a big deal because they haven't really been able to observe a nova or supernova, and I was really blown away that they could get such clear images from another galaxy. Other than that, I don't have anything else. So back to you, Brian. This is W2HZ.
All right, Eric. Yes, we do see occasionally. Actually, that's one of the easier ways is when we see supernova exploding over in other galaxies. Sometimes we miss those that are in our galaxy. They're so infrequent that it's but they do happen. We've seen quite a few, but that is one of the rarer occurrences. We see the supernova and regular novas as well. We're kind of keeping an eye on a couple of things that are going to happen in our own galaxy as well. But yeah. Yeah, definitely a good source for the most part. Yeah, check on that, but for sure, do appreciate you sharing that with us, Eric. Appreciate you checking in tonight. All right, I am getting tired. Let's see. And do appreciate everybody checking in. Tonight, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 40 check-ins. We haven't hit 40 in a long time, so I do appreciate all of the check-ins from YouTube and a bunch of new check-ins as well, and all my regulars as well. So do appreciate that. And Ohio contingent, coast to coast. We didn't get Alaska tonight, but we know they're out there for sure. We miss Mike up there in Alaska, but I do appreciate everybody checking in tonight. So let me see. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let this thing reset, and then I'll go ahead and sign. All right, I'd like to thank the 40 check-ins from checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu Wednesday, for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater system. I'd like to thank the Skyhub Link group for the use of their system and all the ways that you guys can connect into the Colorado Astronomy Net, coast to coast, and Hawaii as well. So I do appreciate that. Skyhublink.com for more information about all the ways that you guys have checked in this evening. So I do appreciate that. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear. KB9CRS, KB9CRS. This is KI0AR, KI0AR calling.